Hey, Ager. Got anything to talk about? As you approach, Ager turns to face you. Her rifle has been field stripped and is lying in pieces on a sheet of butcher paper. Arranged in a neat row along the edge of the paper are bottles of copper solvent, board cleaner, and lighter fluid. Our fearless leader returns. What do you need? Any good now, Ager? Depends on what you mean when you say good. I won't question your competence again, not in front of the others at least. But I'm not gonna lie, I still have concerns about you, Meowlissa. The feeling's mutual. She nods. That's fair. I'd given you reason to be concerned. In fact, it'd be foolish of you not to be. For what it's worth, you have no reason to worry about my professionalism. My job is to support you and the rest of this team, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. As long as you hold up your end, everything should work out just fine. So was there something else that you wanted to talk about, or can I get back to cleaning my rifle? You said you had concerns about me. I'd like you to voice them. She shrugs. Alright, if that's what you want. You're green, Meowlissa. Too green to lead this team. That's my professional assessment, and yeah, I'm concerned about the situation. You can alleviate those concerns by doing your job and doing it well. The only thing that'll fix this is time. I'm not going to let history repeat itself, Meowlissa. That won't happen on my watch. Worry all you want. This team is going to succeed with or without you. She shrugs. You've got the right attitude. Maybe my concerns are misplaced. Or maybe you're just telling me what I want to hear. Only time will tell. You said that you didn't want history to repeat itself. What exactly do you mean by that? I'd rather not go into it. I wasn't talking about Monica, if that's what you're thinking. Let's just say that I've had bad luck with unexperienced teammates and leave it at that. I'd like to hear about your time in the KSK. She shakes her head. No, I'm not in the habit of sharing war stories, Meowlissa. Not with people who've never served. It doesn't have to be a war story. I just want a better idea of who I'm running with. She looks you in the eye for a moment, evaluating. Finally, she shrugs. Alright, Meowlissa, you win. I owe everything to my time in the KSK, from my street name on down. So, you tell me what you want to know, and we'll see where this goes. Tell me how you got your street name. Back when I was in basic training, a fellow recruit made a vulgar joke in my expense. He said that I reminded him of the north face of the Ager in the Bernese Alps. Huge and beautiful, but dangerous to climb. His tone left little doubt as to what sort of climbing he had in mind. I think that he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way, poking me in front of the other recruits to try to provoke a reaction. She shrugs. Anyway, he got one. I broke 3 of his ribs and the name stuck. Remind me not to proposition you. A frown crosses her face. Either you're trying to be cute or you've completely missed the point. Either would surprise me. I didn't break his ribs because he propositioned me, Meowlissa. I'm not a goddamn savage. I put that recruit down because he demeaned me, and he did that in front of our peers. Calm down, Ager. I was just joking. Funny. That's exactly what that recruit said as he was being dragged off to the medic's tent. It was just a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. I was never reprimanded by the top brass, though. They knew what I knew, whatever that recruit's intent. He put me in a situation that required a response. Okay, I stand corrected. You might mean that, or you could just be trying to de-escalate the situation. You tell me, fearless leader, you want to hear why I did what I did, or would you rather I just drop it? Because there are plenty of other things that I could be doing right now. Go ahead, tell me. Alright, I will. As soon as that idiot made his little joke, it was a foregone conclusion that I was getting saddled with the nickname Ager. My only choice in the matter was whether it happened under his terms or under mine. If I hadn't broken that twit's ribs, the name Ager would have meant a difficult sexual conquest to a whole barracks full of recruits. That's what I would have been to them from that point on. My own accomplishments be damned. Thanks to what I did, my new name meant the troll who doesn't take shit from anyone instead. It's a name I'm proud to go by, and I've hung on to it ever since. Ager pauses for a moment, then looks you in the eye. A word of advice to you, Meowlissa. If anyone ever puts you in the situation that he put me in, if he demeans you in front of your unit, whatever his intent, the appropriate response is to put that person down. Hard. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing the respect of your team. With that logic, I should have broken your ribs after Monica died. In your place, I would have. She looks you up and down, appraising you. Not that you'd have succeeded if you tried, but in terms of saving face, it would have done wonders. In all seriousness, Meowlissa, I'm sorry that I put you in that position. I shouldn't have, and I acknowledge that. Tell me about your team. She nods. Fair enough, I guess you've earned it. You know what? I like Ager. I've turned around on Ager. There were 8 of us, 2 commando squads working together as a single unit. Schmidt and Lang were combat deckers, Wolf was our rigger and combat engineer. Pusher handled demolitions, Braun was the mechanic, and the rest of us, Metzger, Kruger, and myself were weapons experts. Our mission was extraterritorial, technically illegal, but important enough to justify the risk. We'd been sent across the border into Poland. The Russian mafia had set up a cottage industry in human trafficking all along the Oder-Neisse line, and it was our job to disrupt it. Go on. We were a good team, experienced. We went through a lot together, and we chalked up a lot of kills. In our own way, I like to think that we did some good. What happened to the team? No, that's not one. That's one story I won't be telling. They died. That's all you need to know. Who was in command? Metzger, best leader I've ever had the pleasure of serving under. Two face clouds. He was a hell of a man. But he went down with the rest of the team. Everyone but me. Thanks, Edgar. Any thoughts on the last run? Nothing we haven't already talked about. No more questions. Thank you, Edgar. Alright. Yeah, I turned around. Edgar's definitely cool. Glory! Hey, Glory. How you holding up? Sure, I understand. Oh, okay. Ask your questions, but do it quickly. I have things to do. You can't have started running the Shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? It was cheap. It gets the job done. End of discussion. I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who'd voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. I can't help but notice that you seem guarded, withdrawn. That's my problem, and none of your concern. If whatever happened to you has impaired your ability to trust me, then it is my concern. Come on, Glory, talk to me. Trust is earned, and I don't know you yet. Maybe later, when we get to know one another better, we can talk. For now, I'd prefer if you dropped it. Okay. Huh. Okay, Amsel said he wanted to talk to me, so we'll go talk to Amsel quick. Then I guess we'll look into the next missions. Meowlissa, welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I have been looking into the Harfeld Manor. Whatever Firering is up to, it is both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading from holding companies all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From there, all of that freshly laundered money flows directly into the Harfeld estate. Wait a second. Why would the dragon have investors? That doesn't make sense. It's doubtful that the Firering's pawns even know where their money is going. This is typical of draconic plots. Uncover a stream of money flowing behind the scenes, and there's a fair chance that you'll find a dragon at the receiving end of it. To a dragon, conspiracy is second nature. The Firering was different. She didn't scheme or plot. She acted. Yes, and look where it got her. When the Firering launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. I will continue digging into this while you and the team tackle your next run. With luck, I will have more information to share upon your return. Sounds good, Paul. One last thing, Meowlissa. Malid was able to restore the readable surface of one of Green Winter's DVDs. If you'd like to take a look, you will find it sitting beside the player. Just one of them? She's still working on the others. Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proving to be quite a chore. She has told me that she'll be in touch if and when she makes any headway. Thanks, Paul. Alright, let's give that a look-see. Load the second DVD. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Fuck. Play track 1. Screen goes black for a moment. The Green Winters appears on the screen. Alright. As I said in my last recording, I've been having trouble finding hard facts on Firewood, so I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. The screen jumps and Winters reappears in a different location. He is now clutching a mug of soy calf in both hands, and there are bags under his eyes. Well, that was enlightening. Assuming that any of it was true, that is. So, for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the craziest fringe theories related to dragons and the SOX. As a reminder, the SOX is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in '08, after the Cattenom-Gao reactor meltdown. Anyway, there are all kinds of rumors floating around about the place. I've heard stories about a walled city in there that operates on a survival of the fittest, kill or be killed basis. Sort of like a nightmare version of Berlin. All of the anarchy, but none of the stability that the F-state provides. The radiation poisoning, cancer, and mana pollution are just icing on the cake. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Firewing down, she crashed into SOX. That much is well known. What isn't as well known are all of the modern day myths that have arisen about her since, and tonight I've heard an earful. I chatted up a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler who operates in the SOX. She told me about a dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently, these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be Firewing, or it could be nothing, but it's worth thinking into all the same. Another thing that my little ghost rat told me, the popular rumor about that in the SOX is that Firewing's astral form was, I guess you'd say, mutated by all of that background radiation. Some of the glow punks out there say that she's shed her body like an old coat. Others say that she's trapped, doomed to languish as an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, but then she could also be a run-of-the-mill glow punk. Or maybe she's just yanking my chain and she's never been to the SOX at all. Who knows? Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whether the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but it's interesting all the same. Now the big question is, will any of this get me any closer to finding Adrian? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, but you can never tell. Track 2. Lore dumps! Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After the Dragonfall, the great dragon Kaltenstein came flying into the SOX to rescue the Firewing. But he was driven off, some say killed, by Lofweir and Nebelher. Lofweir is that dragon that we heard about before. I don't know who Nebelher is. So, what if there's another dragon involved in all of this? Winters grabs a thick, leather-bound tome from a shelf behind him, licks a finger, and begins to leaf through it. Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. First, there's the Golden Worm, Lofweir, the CEO of Shadowrun, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. Lofweir's a local boy, so he'd be in a position to help Firewing. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. He could send a small army into the SOX if he wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he'd have the motive. He actively prevented the Firewing's rescue back in 2012, after all. Same thing is true for Nebelher, so let's scratch the both of them off the list. I don't know anything about Nebelher, but let's do a splash screen there. We've got Aiden, the Great Sirash. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Lofweir. They're actively competing for territory in the Middle East. So I suppose that could be considered motive. Reviving the Firewing might cause problems for the Golden Worm. But would he risk a war with Sadokrup by straying onto Lofweir's territory? Again, I don't think that's likely. There's Celadir out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in Transys Neuronet, so he's got the money. But he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transys is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the SOX. Thunkelzahn out in the UCAS. He pauses, shakes his head, and then he slams the tome shut. No, this is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am. The Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together. They have us to exploit. While this track does load, it's clearly corrupted. The screen fills with a meaningless stream of text. Let's see. Yep. This file is partially garbled. You can recognize a few words here and there, but they're interspersed amidst a solid block of corrupted text. Well, clear and still my big bro. Still searching for Firewing. I swear to Alien, I will find you. It's the last. Not getting close. I swear to new research. Turning up. Don't know. Okay. File is corrupted. The screen fills with a meaningless assortment of ASCII characters. Sure. The screen goes black, and the same digital chime that you heard in the Dragonfall DVD plays again. A crackle of static fills the air, followed by that same now familiar electronic whine. A few moments later, the display goes live. Whoa. Leclerc looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot, and his hair is mussed. He holds a cigarette in an unsteady hand. Hermie, it's me. I can't sleep. I don't know where you are. Out having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties that you're always chasing. He tries on a smile, but it quickly disappears. He takes a drag on a cigarette. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. Leclerc rubs his eyes. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later, and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I can hear the sirens and the screams. There is no sound in this world as horrible as a burned victim's screams. The doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They'd have me in therapy, maybe dose me up on SSRIs like they do to our veteran soldiers. He chuckles, then takes another drag. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer, Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. He shakes his head. No therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it is, and however little I want it. He pauses, subs out his cigarette. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that, I am certain. One day, I will find her, and then, perhaps, I'll be able to sleep through the night. Huh. Alright. Let's look at what missions we've got, and then it's time for me to take a break. So, do I have new message? I have new messages. Hijack shipments. Medbug. If you value new hardware coming to the cruise bazaar, we need to talk. One of my weapons shipments was hijacked by a local gang. I can promise 500 new yen, and if you can recover the shipment, I'll have some new gear on the shelf. Come see me for details. Ooh. Commissioning your services. We would like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You will find him at cafe nearby. His name is Luka. He will be expecting you. Come alone. We need to talk. Come see me at your earliest conveniences. There is a matter that we need to discuss. God, we got side quests. The first game didn't have side quests. I love this fucking game. Open the jobs directory. Claim payment for the Humanist data steal. You submit the job as finished. The Humanist data steal. Here's your payment as promised. A moment later, a second message pops into your inbox. Your payment details. Deductions from crew salary. Remainder sent to Meowlissa's account. Cool. You all pending and active jobs. Mark 4 prototype extraction. Farmer cleanup job. Those don't sound very exciting. Check the status of the Alice Fund. We're like already halfway there. That's pretty good. Shadowrun BBS. Relevant keywords. Francis Highlander best new deck. Just got one from yeah, this doesn't sound interesting. Help! Drowning in junk messages. Okay, well, just. Alright. We don't have any pay data, do we? Hold on. Nope. Cool. Alright. We're good. Time for a break.